All right, so the next question is kind of my favorite. What was the misconception you had about CEOs before you became one?
I used to think the CEO's job is tough.
Oh, it's not?
That's the reason I'm surprised. Because I think in general, the reason I actually say that the CEO's job is not tough is not because it's not tough, but I don't see that it's any differently tough than what a rock star does at any level of the organization. Mm-hmm. If you think about somebody who's writing a bunch of lines of code which will get merged into a branch which goes out and ships to a Fortune 100 company which will be using that code, I would be very scared to write that code. If you think about a salesperson who has a very, very large chunk of its compensation linked to every sale that will happen on a quarter-on-quarter basis, I would be very scared. If you think about customer success and all the crazy things that salespeople sell, and then hand it over to customer success to make sure that, okay, now the baby is yours and you need to take care of that, and now I would be measured on the net retention and the gross retention and the NPS, I would be scared, and it would be a very tough job. So when you look at all of that, and I'm very fortunate because being the leader of your organization, I get a very, very deep view into the lives of so many people. And when I see how difficult each one of their jobs is, and the amount of focus that they have to make sure that they're delivering, I actually think that my job is no different. And that's the reason why I said that either my job is equally, if not more, but equally for sure, as difficult / as easy as anybody else in the organization.
Okay, that's nice. Connected to that question, what are the top 3 lessons you've learned since becoming a CEO?
Firstly, I've only been a CEO all my life. So that's the thing I want to start with. I don't even know what the world outside looks like. I've been fortunate, at the same time challenged, because in hindsight it might sound very cool that I started the company, I've been a CEO from the inception of the company and started from my dorm room. But on the other side, I don't know what it feels like to actually be in an organization which is led by a different CEO. So there was no baggage, but at the same time, there was no learning of what can be best practices using which a lot of companies have really grown and scaled. So I would say there have been a lot of pros and cons of me being a first-time CEO. But coming to your question about the 3 things that I learned as being in the job of the CEO, the first thing that I realized that the CEO's job is really a nexus of deciding despite of uncertainties, despite of not knowing, deciding and having the confidence of telling people, because a lot of people rely on decisions that I and the leadership makes in terms of the strategy of the company, because you cannot have all the data points before you make decisions. I like what Jeff Bezos says, that if you had all the data points required to make a decision, you waited too long. So in order to go ahead and execute things with the agility that's required for a small company like ours, we make sure that we go ahead and we execute despite not having a lot of data points. So that was the first piece, that how do you keep taking decisions despite having limited data points. The second thing that I learned as a CEO is the importance of a team. It is just not possible, right? Me as a CEO, I'm reasonably good, and my strengths are I'm fairly technical. I'm a computer science engineer, and that's one of my strengths, right? Am I high energy? You know that by now.
Absolutely.
Jumping all the time, right? So that's always there. But at the same time, there are a ton of places where I'm not good at. I've never built a global company. I've never built a SaaS company. I've never built a company which is delivering to Fortune 100 customers around the world and really trying to solve their problem. I've never felt that problem myself because I've not been on the other side. And therefore, in order to see how we can build something which is truly world-class, which is truly scalable and making an impact at a very, very large scale, I figured that, I just can't do it by myself. This is not chess.
Right.
I would say this is not even football. This is a damn big game with hundreds of rock stars which are required, if not thousands, to go and make that impact at a global scale that we talk about. And it's not just our own family members at SAFE. I'm talking about our extended family members, whether it's our investors, whether it's our advisors, whether it's our customers, and being very close to them. So as they say, it takes a village to go ahead and build something of meaning. That, no matter how talented you are, I don't think that a person or a small group of people can just go and change the world. It really does take a village, is the thing which I've come to the appreciation. As Michael Jordan used to say, that talent can win games, but teams is what wins championships. So that's the second one. And the third and the most important thing that I realized, I'm fairly heavy on my left brain. What that means is that, as I said, I'm an engineer by education. I like looking at things mathematically. I like looking at things like, things go wrong all the time. I like looking at it very objectively, saying, okay, things are a problem, that's fine. Let's go and break the problem down into pieces and then look at it one by one and try to solve that. But the appreciation of the softer side of empathy, what that can have as an impact on the lives of people in the organization, especially of where people accept me as a leader, that goes far ahead than just sheer logic or intelligence which is out there. And empathy starts with words, but I'm a big believer, and I'm not good at this, so I don't think I'm very good at sugarcoating things or being very soft, but showing empathy in actions more than just words is something that I've realized, right? Every time if somebody's not performing and we have to let go of them, every time somebody is not doing things and we have to give them the support, not just give them tough feedback, but give them the support of how do you become successful, and showing that in your actions, and of course complementing that with the right kind of words. I still think I'm working on it. I don't think I'm great at it, but the importance of what words can have as power of really changing the way people behave and deliver on a day-to-day basis, I think that's something that I've come to see as an appreciation as being the CEO.
Thank you, Saket. That was really helpful.